Okay, ready quiz? Number 1. Question. Quote John 1. SNU 3.
One word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
That is correct. Number 2. Question. Why did men, SNU 3, repeat the question, please.
Why do men love darkness instead of light? Because we do evil.
That is correct. Number 3. Question. Who prophesied? SNU 3. Repeat the question, please.
Who prophesied that these would have for the Jewish nation? Catholic. He was Catholic.
That is correct. Number 4. Question. Finish this verse. He, SNU 3.
He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him.
I'm sorry. Point Loma 3, bonus points. Question. Finish this verse. He was in the world.
He was in the world, and when the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him.
That is correct. Number 5. Question. Who will take SNU 2? Repeat the question, please. I'm sorry. Point Loma 2, bonus point. Question. Who will take away your joy? No one. That is correct. Number 6. Question. What can no... SNU 3. Repeat the question, please.
What can no one...
Sorry. Point Loma 3, bonus points. Question. What can no one snatch out of Jesus' hand?
She.
That is correct. Number 7. Question. Finish this verse and give the reference on SNU 3.
I am willing that the kingdom of heaven.
Point Loma 3, bonus points. Question. Finish this verse and give the reference. I have come into the...
I have come into the world as a light. Should be.
I'm sorry, the reason we should stay in darkness. 12:46. Okay, number 8. Question. According to John 7:20, point number 1, read the question, please. I'm sorry. SNU 1, bonus points. Question. According to John 7:27, when will no one know where the Christ is from? When Christ comes. That is correct.
Yes.
Time out. Point Loma.
Let's go, Bill.
What did Jesus do after his brothers had left for the feast? He also. I'm sorry. SNU 1, bonus points. Question. What did Jesus wrap around his waist? A towel. That is correct.
Good job, Bill.
Number 10. Question. Situation question. Who said it, to whom, and what was the response? Again. SNU 2.
You gotta hear how you're gonna buy that. You say to slow down. That's
I'm sorry. Point Loma 2, bonus points. Question. Situation question. Who said it, to whom, and what was the response? Gather the pieces that are left over.
Jesus said it to his disciples. And the response was, they gathered the pieces of one of those. They filled 12 baskets with the leftover pieces.
That is correct. 15 euro SNU, 10-point deduction. Number 11. Question. According to John 9:20, SNU 1, make the question, please.
9:25. What did he reply? He replied, what do I not know? What is one thing I do know? What was I? What do I do now? And I see what was their response. Would he reply, whether he sin or not? I don't know. One thing I do know. I was blind and now I see. What do I not know whether he was sin or not? What is one thing I do know? I was blind but now I see. He replied, this is the man who is blind. He replied.
That is correct.
Yeah! That's it.
Way to be.
Number 12. Question. Whose table? SNU 2. Read the question, please. That is correct.
Yeah!
Third person.
All right.
Stretch them back, guys. Come on.
Number 13.
Stand up.
Question. When will you, point number 1, read the question, please.
When will you weep and mourn while the world rejoices?
That is correct.
Good job. Good job.
Number 14. Question. According to John 6:50, SB1, the question, please.
Uh, 654. Who has eternal life? Who will not be condemned? Who has eternal life? Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life and will not be condemned.
I'm sorry. Point Loma 1, bonus points, question. According to John 6:54, who has eternal life?
Whoever eats Jesus' flesh and drinks Jesus' blood. We got the verse clarified. Mine is being Jesus.
That is correct.
Okay, I asked two questions. Who has eternal life and who will not be condemned? And the first one I answered was who has eternal life, whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood. And then I said, will not be condemned. But when you're asking, and according to, it doesn't have to be exactly word for word. And I did answer this question correctly. I had the information that was in your question answered. And I answered that part. I added the part that it doesn't have to be exactly word for word. And the part I said is not. It wasn't false information. It says I will raise him on the last day. And so it's not going to be condemned. I think that should be kind of correct. The first question I answered was the one you asked. It is correct.
The clarification of the pronoun usually comes at the end of question and answers. The two questions he asked were not fully answered both, and thus he didn't have enough time to clarify his pronoun. That's very important. I think partly, according to you, because frankly, Peter could be speaking or, anybody. So I think that's important clarification because according to is simply something that you could show somebody else out on the streets and say, according to this, what happens. And so, clarification is important for the information to be interpreted correctly.
Challenge is overruled. No reduction of points. Challenge is over.
Good try.
Time out. Question. To whom did SNU2, read the question, please. I did. I'm sorry. Point Loma 2, bonus points. Question. To whom did Jesus reveal the Father?
I revealed because you have given me. Out of the world, they were yours. You gave them to me. Those the Father has given Jesus.
That is correct.
Come on, guys. Pay attention. Think.
Okay, number 16. Question. Who has the SNU4? Questions.
Who has the word of God one whom God is there?
I'm sorry. Point Loma 4, bonus points. Question. Who Who has the words of eternal life?
Jesus.
That is correct. Number 17. Question. When did Point Loma 2, read the question, please.
When did the fever leave the boy yesterday at the 7th hour? Certain royal official, son.
That is correct. Time out. Okay, number 18. Number 18. Question. Where were feet? SNU 5. Read the question, please.
Constantly going to be baptized at under Salem. You just play more in that place. And, okay, John Nazarene.
That is correct. Number 19. Question. According to Point Loma 4, read the question. I'm sorry. SNU point, bonus points. Question. According to John 13:28, who understood why Jesus said this?
Notice table.
That is correct. Number 20. Question. How many time SNU 4, Point Loma 1? If you're answering the side mic, read the question.
How many hours a day are there?
Yes, that was Point Loma. Both answers, that's correct.
Like challenge. I believe I heard her question in how many hours are in the day. And then she said, yeah. Her answer was 12. And certainly, there are different number of hours in a day, depending on what time of year it is. In the day, day life, I think it's something totally different because, and also the concept, light referring to, you should walk by day, walk, where you can see where you're going. He's not talking about time. Time is, I think, futile in this situation. He's specifically referring to light, which has a totally different connotation than the reference to time. And I think light is very important because it's a contrast between good and evil. And time has nothing to do with the concept she was conveying.
Well, in that verse it says, "Are there not 12 hours of daylight? A man who walks by day will not stumble, for he sees others go by." And in that second part of the verse it says, "A man who walks by day will not stumble." The word day refers to the period of time when there is light, you can see. And I think that's what she was like. Because we refer to day and night. And I think she got it right.
Okay, going to have to overrule the challenge. You know, the extra points.